What's up, Vankers?
Hello, Vankers.
Hello, puppets. Hello, governors.
Cheers, governor. Oh, that fine British chap, Alex Albon's doing Born in London. Let me tell you that much. Born in London.
Guess who is coming to you live from London right now, but didn't go to Silverstone GP like a boss?
Dude, you're too cool to go to that race, dude. You're alt.
I'm alt. I fucking watched it at my girlfriend's dad's house on Channel 4 with the worst crew calling it like a boss.
Like a geezer. Like an absolute
Brian Bonnet, like an absolute geezer.
Like a cheeky chap. You got some turkey teeth. If you ain't got turkey teeth, you're not the guy for me. You know, Matt. I have to say, you know what? I was maybe gonna wait, but I'm gonna start this episode off right, because I wrote a little song about today's episode, okay? I wrote a little song about the Silverstone GP, okay?
Excuse me, you composed the song. Give yourself some credit.
Well, I didn't compose it. I just wrote some new lyrics. Because you know what? They kept saying, like, maggots to Beckett's. Oh, they're going maggots to Beckett's. From maggots to Beckett's. And you know what I thought? I thought, I've got maggots and Beckett's aplenty. I've got Brooklyns and Luffields galore. You want Wellington Straits? I've got 20. But who cares? No big deal. I want more. I want to be where the British are. I want to see them racing, driving around on those, what do you call them? Wheels. I want to be where the English play. I want to see that bias Lewis is giving me. What do you call them? Feels. Up where they mess with DRS. Up there with Ted motherfucking Kravitz.
Woo!
Out of the States. Wish I could rate British bias. Boom.
Wow,
yeah, baby.
That was probably better than the most recent adaptation of the movie.
Yeah, babe.
I saw a clip of that movie, and I was like, this is a horror movie. Watching like the CGI version of The Little Mermaid.
Right. Yeah,
that was scary.
Sure.
That was fucking scary. Yeah, this was a great race.
Yeah, I loved this race. We had a couple fans being like, this race kind of sucked, but I thought it was great. But before we even get to the race, Matt, we got to thank our daddies of the pod. We got to thank Kayla, Robin, Jordan Texera, Jay Lingle, Spencer Grieve, Javier Mera, Sheila Valeri, Chandler, Luana Galbano, Ali Santana, Carla Juarlo, Kimberly Whalen, Fernando, my gosh, 6969, Donya Denad, Jimmy, Muhammad Patel, and our newest daddy, Hakeem.
Welcome, Hakeem.
Thank you, daddies. Welcome, Hakeem. Thank you, daddies. We would be nowhere without you. And if you want to be a daddy of the pod, you can go to patreon.com/tearofpod. Let's get into Silverstone, Bubs. What do you think? Overall takeaways.
I really want. I hate the British so much. They're so up their own. They're just so up their own asses that I was actively like wanting this race to suck. Like I was predisposed. I would have been happier being miserable watching this race. That's how spiteful I am, but it was good. It slapped.
Yeah, it was good.
I mean,
the track
from the
slaps.
grid walk, the track slaps.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a good track. I had these British are onto something when they're like, can we just get a traditional track like Silverstone? None of these gimmicky street track. I mean, there is something to it, I have to admit. You know, when you have a track that's been around for 100 years, designed for racing, you know, that tends to work out pretty well. You know?
Yeah.
It's just,
yeah, I mean,
I have to give it to them.
The high-speed corners just, I mean, you know, it's like they kept saying, you know, it's like the reason I wrote the song is from maggots to Beckett's, because they kept being like, oh, Oh, from maggots to Beckett's. Oh, look at the speed they're taking into those corners.
I forgot. One of the drivers was like, okay, so I think we're having some trouble at turn 9. And he was like, he meant Beckett's. You know what I mean?
I know. It's like,
so
like they have to
obnoxious.
name every single
everything.
term.
Everything has to have a name. Everything has a rich history.
Yes.
I mean, England does have a rich history. I mean, I'm just like going into a bodega that's older than our entire country put together.
Yeah, they have a rich history because they fucking stole fucking land and resources from the entire fucking world. That's why it's so rich, dude. Okay. But I mean, dude, my guy, Lando fucking Norris, dude. He is having, he's dead. I'm so fucking gassed up. I'm pumped up. I'm bricked up and I'm moist. I am feeling sexy about Lando fucking Norris here to play. McLaren here to play. All the people that said that Oscar Piastri was stupid for not going to Alpine. How do you like him now? Okay. How do you like that now? This is what you get when you doubt an American.
Danny Rick fans, like they're it's stick your head in the oven time. It's because this was all they had was that McLaren sucks.
Right.
This was all they had was like, ha ha ha, McLaren sucks. Ha ha ha. And it's like, how you like me now?
Yeah.
How you like
that's
me
what you
now?
get. That's what you get, Zak Brown, for disrespecting our guy Danny. That's what everyone said when we were in Miami. No, he was mean to Danny. He was mean to Danny. Well, guess what? Also a good week. You know, it's like now the McLaren thing, they don't have that to hang their hat on. But you know what? You know what's consistent and will get them every time? Nick DeVries being fucking terrible and Helmut Marko having a literal red dot on his head waiting for the trigger to go at any moment.
Yeah.
So there's some, Danny is it seems like he's going to go to Alpha Tower, but let's talk about McLaren. I mean, I was worried. Okay. It was like the weekend happens, obviously quali P2, P3 for Lando and Piastri. It's like, holy shit, these McLarens are here to play. You know, last week,
they were here,
Lando had the upgrades.
Lando had the upgrade, and he was looking good.
He was looking good last week, and now it's like, oh, now they both got the upgrade, and we know that fucking Oscar Piastri is a killer in Gen Z meek clothing. He's the meek freak.
I love him so much. He's my guy, honestly. There's this great clip I sent you, Brian. He's like Sports Bible or something, where they asked both of them because they're like so polar opposites.
Yeah.
They asked, they said, "Hey, Lando, are you into astrology?" And Lando's like, "I love astrology. I'm a Scorpio, like so flamboyant with it, like so important to me."
Yeah.
And then Oscar Piastri's just like shaking his head.
Well, no,
like,
I mean,
he's giving me such Pisces energy, and blah 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 blah. And he's like going on and on and on. And Piastri just goes, "Waste of time." Just like the opposite. Like Lando just goes like yappity yappity yap about like all the wonders of astrology, and Piastri's just like waste of time. Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
He's a robot, but he's a killer robot. And I was worried. I was like, okay, do they have pace? Are they going to suffer from Ferrari syndrome, which means that they have pace on Saturday and then there's shit on Sunday?
The good thing is that Ferrari was behind them and they suffered from Ferrari syndrome. So that was what saved them, I think. Ferrari was still behind them.
We'll get into that. We'll get into the Ferrari of it all, but yeah.
But I think what they were discussing was that it was cool and that helped their tire degradation.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And it also, and they're so, they blitzed their tires so much that it helped them activate their hards.
Right.
So their weakness this week was actually a strength. So on a hotter day, they would have just blown through their tires.
Right.
Like everybody else was. So, and I think, Russell and all the guys that went on the hards early were having trouble activating them. Whereas, like critical juncture at that last stint, when Hamilton was breathing behind Lando's neck, and Lando was like, "I'm fucked."
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. I loved at the end where Lando won. Is like, never doubted you guys for a second.
No, even after he won, he was like, still would have been faster on the softs, guys. He had to bring it like really hard for me. Like would have been fat. Like he actually like he sometimes Lando kind of can't just let a thing work out. Sometimes like he's got to say the thing. He's got to say the extra comment to kind of like get it in there to get that little extra zing.
Yeah, but he wanted it was a bit like Harry Houdini. He wanted people to know how much like what a heroic feat this was.
Yeah.
And I did it on the hards. And like you saddled me with this extra burden.
Yeah, and you fucked me on the strategy and I still made it work.
I did it any motherfucking way. Because we're cutting ahead, but who cares? I mean, because the safety car went around so many times, I'm like, they're barely going to have to do any laps.
Right.
Why did they put him on the hards? This is crazy.
I know.
Yeah, Zach was like, I stand by my decision.
Yes, and it fucking worked. I mean, there was a few times. I mean, the start, I was like up out of my. I was sitting down watching the race, and then I was standing up yelling at the TV like multiple times. First off,
I was clapping like an idiot. And my girlfriend's dad, who's never seen a Grand Prix, is like, "Do you like that guy?" I was like, I mean, this never happens. This never fucking happens. That Max is not winning.
Yeah,
and it's this guy Lando Norris who's never in the lead. It's just he's not Max Verstappen. It's just weird. And those chrome cars, I gotta say, look good.
They look really good.
They looked really good.
The chrome looks sick.
The chrome looks
also, it's like they should just keep that because it's like Google. Google's your sponsor. Google Chrome, like. Wouldn't Google be psyched to have that as the thing for the?
I'm sure that was intentional, but here's the thing: when you think of Chrome, you actually don't think of Chrome. You think of the fucking red, green, and blue and yellow. You actually don't think of Chrome, which is weird.
Damn,
like it's literally everything but Chrome. It's the Google colors.
Dude, you're blowing my mind right now, dude.
Yeah.
Revelations Destination Me. Fucking what? Okay, wait. There was just so much beautiful Lando, and I need to have my day because when the season started, I've got to take it to you a little bit because when the season started, you were like, Lando's a bitch. Lando doesn't have that dog in him. Like Oscar Piastri, watch out! Like he's finally gonna get someone taking it to him. It's Oscar Piastri.
Well, hey, you want to know something? I gotta say, Lando got a little lucky. It could have got a little hairy if it wasn't for that safety car.
Totally.
Because Lando might have had to pass Oscar.
Oh, because he would have had to pit.
Because Oscar pit first.
Right.
And Lando would have had to come through.
Right.
And they were talking about it. Oh, Lando's going to be behind Oscar potentially. What's going to And then the safety car happened, and Lando got a cheap pit. And Oscar got fucked, right? Oscar pitted right before the safety car, like George Russell. That was the best moment of the race for me, was when George Russell goes. Didn't even hide it. George Russell pits right before the safety car. Then the safety car happens. And then he goes, did Lewis pit during the safety car? And they go, yeah. And he goes, fuck. He literally cursed.
Yeah.
He's not even hiding it anymore. He goes, fuck.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
That's unbelievable. His idol, his teammate who he loves so much.
He's got nothing but love and respect.
Nothing but love.
That
was amazing.
For his king,
Lewis. So yeah, and I mean, he was told not to. I mean, Oscar was right up his ass, and he was told to lay off. And what was amazing was that's how slow the fucking Ferraris were. Is that Oscar was told to lay off? He laid off like 3 seconds of Lando, and then the Ferraris were 3 seconds back. I'm like, these Ferraris are fucking slow.
Yeah, the Ferraris were brutal today.
Because Lando wasn't even being chased by Oscar, and they were still way behind. Like these McLarens were fast,
Oh yeah, no, the McLarens are the real deal. I mean, Lewis after the race was obviously saying that he was like they're a rocket ship. They're so fast, and then George was like, well, fine driving there from those hards from Piastri. Fine driving.
No, he's like, they're so fast on those hards. But I felt like that was just like kind of excuse, like he was making excuses for not being able to pass them.
Yeah, well,
That's
what
what I was getting from it.
Well, he was like, I can't believe how quickly they can get temperature into those tires.
Right, but like when Lewis is such a good driver, Lando, like he says that as he passes him.
Right.
That's what Lewis does. He's like, Lewis is classy when he wins.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? George is like, damn, that car's so fast. You know? Whereas that's like feels like an excuse. And when Lewis says, damn, those cars are fast, he's basically saying, what the fuck, Toto? Why is our customer team beating us? This is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Lewis is pissed off. That's crazy. That
I think that he, you know what's interesting? I was getting real genuine vibes from him today. I was feeling on
his best behavior at Silverstone.
Well, I think that he obviously is like, what happens behind the closed doors with him and Toto is like another thing. But I think that like he's solidified himself this year as being like he's fighting above. He's an underdog this year, and I think he's kind of enjoying being the underdog. I think he's last year he hated being the underdog. He was like, this fucking sucks. I want to be top dog. And now this year I think he kind of like is enjoying being the underdog. He's like, look at me, I'm on the podium, like against this fucking bullshit Red Bull that the FIA should do something about. Excuse me, do something about that FIA.
Well, I gotta say, I mean, this sounds stupid, but it must be it's kind of boring to be Max. Must be.
Totally.
Like, I mean, we've done this when you and I carded together. Like, you would sometimes slow down so you could mix it up with me, or like if they let me go,
let me
go ahead of you. Like, I would be like, well, this isn't fun. Do you know what I mean? It's not fun to just pound laps by yourself.
Well, Max is so bored that complains. Max is so bored that he's like complaining to his team like your like your bored girlfriend or boyfriend would. Cause he's like, when you're like codependent with someone and they just like, they leave the house and then they like call you from the car. And you're like, I just saw you. Like, that's Max in the car when he's radioing into his team and he's like, guys, it's really annoying to drive when it's so windy like this. And they're like, okay, like, I don't know what you want us to do about that, Max. Like, he's like, nothing. I just like wanted you guys to know that like I'm annoyed right now. And they're like, okay, we hear you, buddy. I mean, he was like, a bunch of times he was just like,
he's lonely. He's literally lonely. He's got nothing but just. He's just like, just thought I just wanted to hear the sound of someone's voice, you know?
Right.
'Cause,
yeah.
Like, Lance Stroll doesn't need to call anybody. He's fucking like fighting for his life.
Yeah, they're calling him. They're calling him, being like, do this, do this, do this. Carlos Sainz has so many people yelling at him that he forgot which fucking strategy
that
plan
was
B
crazy.
was.
And then he was like, what's plan B again? And then they were like, the other guy didn't even fucking know. Nobody fucking knew.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Yeah.
Let me get back to you. I was like, wait, so nobody knows what plan B is? I mean, I had to think that they didn't want to tell him explicitly what it was. But
right. But my feelings don't care about your facts.
That's what. They were going to be like, yeah, that's the one where you pit on lap 42, you fucking dumbass. Yeah. They're like, how the fuck do I tell this guy what plan B is without giving away our whole strategy?
Right.
Although, whatever their strategy is, the other teams don't do. They were like, hey, Max, when do we pit? And then Max was like, did you see this? Max was like, well, Ferrari's pitting now, so maybe we shouldn't pit.
Right.
He's savage.
Yeah.
Fucking savage. I mean, they're so broken. I was watching qualifying.
Yeah.
It was fucking amazing. I was like, I was wondering if you noticed this. Did you watch Q1?
Yeah.
Leclerc goes, it was like raining a little, and Leclerc goes on the radio and he goes, we are going to box for slicks.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, It felt like I had practiced that in the mirror. Like, you're going to use your big boy voice. You're going to assert yourself. Like, tell them what you want. You know, assert yourself. You're number one. And they were like, understood, Charles. Understood. It was like such a big, like, it felt so practiced and hollow and unnatural. He was like,
hear ye.
I would like. I feel like it would be best for me.
Yeah.
If I had some slicks. You know what I mean? Like they had worked out in therapy. It's like, it's very important, Charles, that you come from an I feel place when you talk about the tires that you want. You know, like it felt so canned and weird. I was like,
when you put me on the wrong tires. I feel misunderstood
and slow
and it makes me feel like I made a mistake by wanting to drive for you my whole life and signing with you.
Made me feel like my life is a lie.
Yeah. I feel like Charles's therapist like watched that on TV and was like, "Good job, man. Good job." Just like we talked about. Good.
Oh, it was so rough. I was like, oh, that felt so hard coming at it. Like he has such a. They're fucked, dude. They're so fucked.
They're so fucked.
You know, the other teams like Max is like, what are we thinking? I'm thinking slicks. I'm thinking we do slicks. It's very just chill. You know, hey, how are we feeling about this? I'm feeling this way. I'm feeling that way. Okay. You know, it's very.
Well, they check in with Max. Whenever they do it with Max, it's always like, Max, like, you're the definitive. Because if there's anything that the driver knows, because the driver's not reading the telemetry, but if there's anything that the driver knows, it's like, when is the track dry enough to put on the slicks?
Yes.
And so you have to trust the person that you're paying so much fucking money to tell you that. He is the expert when it comes to that. He's not reading your telemetry, but he is reading the fucking road, and he's reading it with his tight little ass.
He's feeling it, yeah.
Yeah, he's feeling it with his glutes. And they always do that. Like the Red Bull machine, it's oiled, it's greased, and it works well if your name is not Sergio Perez.
They have an intimacy coordinator, and it's like a love scene, and they're always checking in. They're always checking the vibe. How you feeling about this? How you feeling about that? You okay?
Right.
Whereas, it's a more toxic set on Ferrari.
It's so comfortable that Max feels comfortable calling in, just being like, hey, guys, just want to let you know that the front left tire is being kind of annoying right now. They're like, well, we just put him.
Bird. I think I killed a bird a couple. Is the car okay? Yeah, it's fine. This bird is dead.
Just want to let you guys know that I killed a bird. So, yeah, it just makes you think, doesn't it? They're like, yeah, it does make you think.
Just contemplating my own mortality at the moment. God. Yeah, he does complain about literally. Everybody else is like, my car is on fire. It's like, the wind is weird. Has anybody noticed the wind is weird? Yes. Yeah, Max. Wind blows in different directions, so that's how the fucking Earth works. You know?
Well, it is like my girlfriend. Like she goes to like customs, and she's texting me being like, "Oh, it's so annoying." Like when you have to go through customs, and I'm like,
"Wait, like did they search you?" No, I'm just.
No, it's just like the line's really long. I'm like, yeah, that is annoying. She's like, why is it like that? And I'm like, just because, but for a lot of reasons that we are not going to go into right now, why you have to like do check-ins when you fly internationally. Like, she's like, no, I just want you to know. It's, you know what it is? It's that scene in it's that scene from White Men Can't Jump. When Rosie Perez comes into bed with Woody Harrelson, and she's like, she gets into bed and she goes, I'm thirsty. And Woody Harrelson's like, oh, I'll get you a glass of water. And she's like, no! And he's like, what? And she's like, I want you to say, babe, I know what it feels like to be thirsty. And it's this whole, I remember I watched that scene when I was a little kid and being like, whoa, like, this is like, I never thought about this in this way. Just like, I just want to be, and he's like, babe, if I say that I'm thirsty, it means if someone's near some glasses of water, better hand me one. That's what being thirsty means to me. But Max just wants to be heard.
What you don't understand is that at that age, and I still don't understand that, is, you know, as a man, you hear something, and you're just like, let me fix it.
Yeah, right.
Like,
right.
They don't want you to fix it. They just want to hear. They just want you to listen to the complaint.
Yes.
Empathize.
Yes.
So
it was windy day, and it was annoying. It was annoying to drive for Max when it was windy.
he just wants you to hear.
Yeah.
That it's misery loves company. It's
right.
My mom will call me and just be like, I'm miserable right now. And I'd be like, cool. Cool.
Yes. Yeah. Let's talk. We were talking about the Ferraris.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk a little bit about what the fuck happened with them today. We used to revel. We used to have so much fun when the Ferraris would fuck up, when they would fuck up the strategy. We were like, it's Binotto's fault. Got to get Binotto out of there. Now Binotto's out of there. Fred Vasseur's in there, who's a guy that like we met, and then
the pod,
yeah, he was on the podcast, and we're like, we want to like him. Obviously, we want them to.
Charles
be,
is a friend of the pod. Obviously,
Charles is a friend of the pod. It's like we want, but now it's like today was comical. I mean, here's the thing. The Benny of the D for them is that the car sucked, so they were trying to do something. It was like the tires were falling off and the car didn't have pace. They're like, let's try something different. Let's bring you in way early and put you on hards. Because George Russell was on softs. Because as you pointed out last week, George Russell needs like a gimmick in order to win, to beat Lewis Hamilton.
He's like Carrot Top. He can't just stand there and just stand up. He has to.
Yeah, he needs puppets,
props. He needs props to be funny.
He's a prop comic. And he's like, I'm getting laughs, and they're like, okay, but are you though? Like that guy Gallagher, who used to smash like fruit. He used to like smash fruit as part of his bit.
There was this not to name drop, but Rob Reiner told me this story. He was watching a impressionist named Stephen Fry heckle like a young Rodney Dangerfield. An impressionist was heckling Rodney Dangerfield, and Rob Reiner was there.
Yeah,
so he was a big impressionist that was on like the Johnny Carson show. And he was heckling Rodney Dangerfield when he was a nobody.
Yeah.
And Rodney Dangerfield, who was a nobody, turned to this guy who was a big impressionist of the day. He goes, David Fry, ladies and gentlemen. He's an impressionist. That's 2 cuts above a juggler. Which I thought was so brilliant. It's like a gimmick. It's like not real comedy. Anyway,
right. Yeah, that's what George Russell needs to do in order to win races. And you had the softs on, right? So George Russell's on the softs. That's a different strategy. The only other person who were on the softs were like the Alpha Tauri boys who were out in Q3, so in Q1.
But he outqualified Lewis, to his credit, didn't he?
Did he? I don't think so. I think he just had a better. Jump.
Oh, he did. He was ahead of because he was on the softs.
Yeah, he was on the softs. Yeah, so he had a better jump at the start of the race. Anyway, he's on softs, and it's like the softs are blasting, and Leclerc's on medium. Everyone else is on mediums, and Leclerc goes in before George Russell. He pitted for hards
because the softs are lasting so long,
and it's just like if you're gonna choose a tire, you have to get the most out of the tire, and they just brought him in early for hards. Even after the race, Charles was like, "I don't know why we came in that early." He's like, I didn't know all the stuff. Oh, George did outqualify Lewis, Jenny's saying. P6 versus P7. But it's just, the Ferrari strat is just fucking ridiculous. It's just terrible. And, I mean, what was happening to Carlos Sainz near the end of that race was comical. That was like...
He was getting...
destroyed.
Ambushed.
He was ambushed. Yeah, I mean...
Like, Albon was like ruining. I was like, what is going on?
Yes. Albon with that helmet that Albon was in was sick.
And that livery was sick.
Yeah, the black and white helmet, it was half black, half white. It was like fucking he looked fucking fire. He looked scary. And that Williams is actually kind of like got something going on.
I don't know. They're still they were in 9th place. They have a lot of hype for being 9th. I hear James Vowell's just a little too much. I'm like, bro, you're behind Alfa Romeo. I never see that fucking guy. I just think he's a Toto Wolff disciple and they're like trying to make him a thing. So Williams gets a lot of fucking press, and I'm like, Gunther Steiner is beating you right now. You understand that, right? Gunther Steiner is beating you with a Ferrari engine. Shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? I just think that James Vowell's a bit of an industry plant.
Interesting. Yeah, you know what? I was finding myself falling for it, and now you've just fucking woken me up.
No. Albon did well, but they're not, like, the team does suck.
Well, yeah, he's out there in the press a lot, kind of talking about how unfair the regulations are and how, you know, like, this is everything that they're doing and how they're fighting this uphill battle, and he's just doing it very loudly.
You think they were in sixth.
Right.
But they're literally in ninth. They're battling it out with, like, how much you hear Franz Toast.
Right.
that guy is fucking trying to be anonymous.
He's been in Formula One for like over a decade, team principal for like over a decade, and I've never.
No, he's doing this whole PR thing where it's like, look how much of the data analytics I'm overhauling. Like, I'm basically a miracle worker. Okay,
right.
You're in ninth. Okay, you've moved from 10th to 9th.
Right. So, and you know what? Someone's got to be 9th. You know, at the end of the day, not everyone can be first or second.
Hey,
or
you know
third.
what? Maybe they'd be a little farther along if they picked a different fucking second driver. There are rumors that Albon might go to Ferrari.
They are in. I will say, they're in 7th now.
Oh, they had a good because of Albon.
Yeah, so they're tied for 7th with Haas.
Okay,
7th and 8th, 7th / 8th.
But he was running his mouth when they were 9th. They've been running their mouth and being in 9th the past several weeks.
Your feelings don't care about my facts. That's
they're in 7th now. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait till fucking Hulk fucking wins another sprint race. and then but yeah, I also love the Kraken logo. It's such a mean animal, and then it's so cute.
Right.
That logo is so cute. But anyway, they're saying Albon might go to Ferrari. How do you feel about that? Rumors.
I'm into that.
I just want to see him beat one teammate that isn't Sargent or Latifi. That'd be nice. Wouldn't that be nice? Before we just christen him the second coming of Christ?
Yeah.
Can we get a Hulk in there? Can we get somebody that's a benchmark?
Right.
We do this with George Russell, right? We do this. George Russell's very good, but he's not Lewis.
Yeah, he's a good number two. You know, I think that my knee-jerk reaction to hearing that is that he will be a fine number 2 to Charles Leclerc at Ferrari.
Here's the other one that I was thinking about. Now that Dietrich Mateschitz is dead, there's a bigger tie. The ties control Red Bull completely. They have a 51% stake,
right,
in Red Bull to the Dieter's son's 49.
Okay,
which is just an annoying amount to own of a company is 49%.
Right,
and I'm wondering what are the odds that the tie company would want to give Alex another shot?
Matt, I don't know if you were listening to the broadcast today, but Alex Albon's British. Born in London, Alex Albon. That's an interesting. I mean, I think that if they, that would be a big brand overhaul on some level, because like when I think Red Bull, I don't immediately think tie. If anything, I think they're fucking American is how they come. They are playing to an American audience, but maybe this with Dietrich, his passing, maybe that will shift. And Albon is one of these guys.
He's still affiliated
he's there
with Red Bull.
Yeah, he's got the histories there, as we know that Red Bull will, welcome people back. I think that those histories actually do mean something. I do like on some level. I do kind of when Lewis talks about the McLaren of it all. Oh damn! I said of it all. Apparently, I say of it all too much. I've been trying to do it less, but I'm saying it. This is my one for the episode with when Lewis talks about the McLaren of it all. I do as we're doing some research on Lewis, we're going to be doing a Patreon episode of a deep dive onto Lewis, and McLaren like is responsible for his whole junior career, and I think that that does mean something. So I think when he says like it's great to see the McLarens back up here, obviously he wants to be beating the McLarens, but I think that they do hold some type of place in his heart, just like Red Bull I'm sure does for Albon. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if Sergio Perez keeps fucking not getting into Q3, then yeah, something needs to be done. I mean, who were saying that we only shit on? Someone was saying that oh, you guys only shit on Checo, and I'm like, okay, you don't listen to the podcast, but Checo, I mean, it's kind of insane that he keeps not getting into Q3, that he can't qualify.
Yeah. It's I mean, you have the fastest car on the grid, and you get knocked out in Q1 regularly.
It's crazy.
Regularly, and it's just people say we hold him to a different standard. Yeah, we hold him to the standard of someone who's driving the fastest car.
Yeah, you hold him to the car's standard.
Yeah.
The standard is the car.
One that Max is. Yeah. By the way, we're not saying he should be beating Max. We're not even,
No.
We're saying he should get into Q3, come in second, come in podium. So we just
getting P5 should be considered a bad week, as opposed to he really climbed to the field today.
Mark Webber was savage. He was like, obviously you can climbing through the field is easy when you start out of fucking position,
right?
And all the cars in front of you are slower than you.
Right.
That's what happens when it happens when you qualify out of position the other way. You drop like a fucking stone.
Yeah, and you have DRS.
That's what happens to Hulkenberg.
Right.
That's what happens to Hulkenberg every fucking week.
Yeah.
He fucking qualifies out of position where he doesn't belong and he drops like a stone.
Yeah.
That's what we thought was going to happen to Lando. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what we thought was going to happen to Lando, but it's like, oh shit, their tires stayed cool because of the temperature, because it's fucking wet and dank as shit out here. And
Lando Norris did a DNA test this week, and it turns out he's 100% that bitch. Even when he's crying crazy, okay?
Were you nervous though? You were nervous he was going to muff it.
I was very nervous he was going to muff it, but when when he came in and he angled his car, they're like Brundle was like, ooh, he's aiming his car about 20 degrees towards Max Verstappen. I was like, let's fucking go, Lando.
Oh, when he got Max, I mean, the real winner of this race was Martin Brundle.
Oh yeah,
Martin Brundle's the real champion. With Cara Delevingne, Brian, you want to take this?
Yeah, Martin Brundle's the real MVP. I mean, I watched this in real time. You've maybe seen it. I mean, maybe you saw it in real time. Maybe you saw it on Twitter. I mean, Brundle's obviously doing his iconic comedy sketch that is the
grid walk.
He's doing his comedy sketch that is the grid walk, and he's walking through. Florence Pugh's there, rocking a fucking pink buzz cut, looking like a badass. The first person he talks to is Florence Pugh. She's there. She gives the interview. Soundbite. She's there with Jackie Stewart's charity. Boom. Gets that done. Talks to one of the kids from One Direction. Not Harry Styles. Sorry for everyone who was praying that he was going to be there. But they got Liam Payne, who I think is the most hated One Direction boy who was there. And then he goes up to Cara Delevingne. And there's like an Alfa Romeo guy who was there who was like, maybe she was with Alfa, which is just a horrible fall from grace. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
I mean, Alfa Romeo has. By the way, Alfa Romeo has like talked to us.
Yeah,
that's
right.
how low they are. That's how desperate they are.
We're praying.
We love Alfa Romeo. Yeah.
We're reaching for an Alfa Romeo collab. So the Alfa Romeo guy's like, no, like she's not doing interviews, and Brundle's like, well, if you're on the grid, the rule is everyone has to do interviews. If you're on the grid, the rule is everyone has to do it. Which, like, I don't know if that is a rule, but like maybe just in Brundle's head, but like clearly the memo is hadn't reached Cara Delevingne.
Yeah, Cara Delevingne didn't read the fine print of that.
And to be fair, she was like, no, sorry, no, like I can't hear anything. And then Brundle she's
also like 12 feet taller than he is.
She's Yeah, she's so tall. She's like, I can't talk, and he goes, okay. He goes, I'm sure it would have been extremely interesting. And then makes his way downtown.
Here's what I don't understand is if your entire job that week, because she had handlers, right?
Right.
I could be a fucking I could be a handler at this point. I'm like, there's gonna be this fucking guy.
Right.
He's a little gremlin guy.
Yes.
His name is Martin Brundle. He looks like he's not important. He's very important.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
And if he's gonna ask you a question, I'll give you your talking point. Really excited to see where the McLarens finish today.
Yes.
I'll just give them like whatever the little story is of the fucking
right.
David Coulthard and I was watching the off-brand one. David Coulthard and Mark Webber were doing the one, and they went up to
right.
the owner from Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
I'm like, isn't the show over? Like, enough. Okay. They're like, oh my God, it's the woman from Ted Lasso who everyone thought was ugly from Game of Thrones, but she's actually hot. You know, that's her whole thing.
Yeah.
And she can sing.
Right.
Like, you know, oh my God,
she's
the
a Broadway
actress.
Yeah.
The actress is hot and can sing. Who knew? And she goes, I'm going to say something really controversial, but I'm really hoping for an 8th championship for Lewis Hamilton. And everyone's like, oh,
yes.
And I'm like, yeah, oh, great. And then they also asked her, like, have you ever been to a race before? And she goes, I've been waiting a long time to be at a race. I'm like, so you've never gone, never shown any interest. That's like a very cute way of saying you've never been to a race and you've never given a fuck. But, you know, she was ready.
But it was well done. Well done.
She was ready.
Yes,
she
applause.
said her little thing. Oh, you know what she also said, which was amazing? She's like, I hope Lewis wins today and gets his 107th. And they were like,
damn.
And then David Coulthard, and she looked at them like, right? And then David Coulthard and Mark Webber were like, we don't fucking know. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know how many. But she did her little homework because she was ready. She was like, okay.
She did her homework. She memorized her lines.
She memorized her lines. These fucking guys are going to come to me. And they're gonna ask me questions, and I'm gonna have my little.
You don't even need to say that. You don't even need to say that. That's even too much. Like, she's done too much homework. All you need to say is, like, rooting for the Alfa Romeos today, rooting for whatever team invited you. I'm rooting for them. That's it.
She was rooting for them.
Yeah, but like, it's like,
but you know what? And everyone's saying, "Oh my God, Brundle's gonna be in Brad Pitt's movie." You want to know why he's in Brad Pitt's movie? Because Brad Pitt, supposedly huge F1 fan, didn't know who the fuck he was. Walked right by him, did the same thing. And it's like, I could be a PR guy. These guys get paid $80,000-$90,000 to just fuck this up every week.
Right.
Just say one thing to him or he's going to fucking ether you.
Yeah.
Because this guy takes no L's. You know what I mean? You're just going to lose every time. You think you're going to come off high status?
Right.
But he's just so fucking quick and smart, and he's just a catty little bitch. You're just
he will
lose.
He will Achilles you. He will just chop off your Achilles, and all of a sudden you can't walk anymore. He's that quick.
Yeah.
He remains undefeated.
He's I mean, the asking what's her face, Megan Thee Stallion to rap, that was a little rough.
Totally.
But then he recovered himself when the PR guy was like, "You can't do that." He was like, "Well, I can. Well, I can because I just did."
yeah, damn, feels good to be a gangster. Well, okay. Well, we touched on it. Let's talk about the Brad Pitt of it all. Oh, damn! I did it twice. Let's talk about Brad Pitt.
Okay, Brian, you're an actor.
Yes.
Okay. I love Brad Pitt. I think he's one of the few movie stars we have left. A lot of people throw around movie star a lot, and I'm like,
right.
You just happen to be Spider-Man, or you happen to be Batman, or you happen to be a movie star is like you are in a movie that didn't like you're just in a thing and people will go see it.
Because you're in it.
Because you're in it.
Yeah.
You're just playing a guy named Bobby Schmitzel. People will go see it. You're not
well, right. Yeah.
Like Jason Momoa, very cool.
Yes.
Very hot, but he's not a movie star, right?
Right.
He's in franchises.
He stars in movies, but he's not
stars in movies, and
he's not a movie star.
If he played like a beatnik poet in some fucking, in some period piece, like that wouldn't do big numbers necessarily.
Right,
you know
right.
Like Tom Cruise could just play a pilot in some fucking movie and
the famous story with Tom Cruise is that he was offered Iron Man and he says like, no, I don't do a franchise, like I am the franchise. Like
exactly.
Mission Impossible is a thing, but not because it was like IP beforehand, or maybe if it was, no one cared about it.
No, it was a TV show that nobody gave a shit about.
Exactly. So no one cared about it, and then Tom Cruise made it because Tom Cruise, movie star. Brad Pitt, also movie star. Okay, so go on. Yes.
Keanu Reeves makes his own franchises. Like The Matrix didn't fucking exist. John Wick didn't fucking exist. Like these are movie stars. Anyway, Brad Pitt, real fucking movie star. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I have nothing but respect for him. He's a very good actor. But at what point are you like being like, I want to step into this character and I want to explore this world? At what point does that end? And you're like, I just want to be fucking Lewis Hamilton. That would be sick. You know what I mean? At what point do you just become 6 years old?
Right.
Like, I want to lead the formation lap at Silverstone. Yeah. Like, at what point are you just a child and you're just playing dress up and you're just jerking off?
Well, at all times. That's what being an actor is 100% of the time, and we like to put little kind of like zhuzh on it. But no, it's a little more obvious when it comes to a thing like this. Yeah, like he's obsessed with Lewis. He gets to partner up with Lewis during this, for this thing. So wait, did he actually lead
didn't see him at the formation? Maybe it was during a practice session.
They were on track like this weekend, but I was told that they were going to be like, when the race started, they were going to be like at the rear of the field and they were going to like drive a thing, but that did not happen. They were definitely like there. There was these videos of them like walking next to the cars, and like Carlos Sainz is there and Esteban Ocon's there, and they're filming like, and they're in character like walking. Those cool. Apparently Javier Bardem is playing like the team owner or the team principal. He was there. Yeah, apparently they drove during the quiet slots in the schedule. So they got footage of them driving on track when no other cars were on the track. But and there's a million pictures of them, and you can watch all of them, and like they were filming, and we'll see what the movie is and how it turns out. I mean, I'm obviously we're going to see it, and we're going to do an extensive review of it.
It's got a good.
I'm sure it'll be good. It's the guy who did Top Gun, who knows how to fucking like film sick action sequences. So I'm sure it's going to look amazing. But the picture, what I really want to talk about with the Brad Pitt of it all, damn it, there it goes again. is this selfie that he took with Pierre Gasly, Charles Leclerc, and Lewis Hamilton. Because for a few days there, it was the only picture that we had of his presence at the track, was this selfie that Pierre Gasly took, where Pierre's looking excited, Charles is looking very excited, Lewis is looking excited, and Brad Pitt looks like he got caught with annoying fans who were begging him to take a selfie, and he took one against his will, is how he looks in the photograph. He looks, he looks so annoyed and,
can you text it to me?
And bothered by it.
Oh, Jesus. Damn.
Looking back, looking at it,
to his head.
Yeah. he looks so unhappy, and it's like this is all they had for a few days, so everyone was like, how cool is this? And like this was the picture that was going everywhere, and I was like, damn, like like Pierre, like if they'd taken 3 photographs, like this is not the one they would have chosen. I think he just got 1 photograph, and this is the one that it was.
Yeah, it's like, was he filming for 12 hours or something? And then
he looks just like he's at the end of his day, and Pierre's like, oh, a selfie, I like it on Instagram. Looking back at it now, it kind of looks like, honestly, that like Lewis and Brad are taking the picture with these 2 young fans. Because there's like, it looks like they're behind a barrier. Like Brad's like behind something. You can see his hand gripping like a black cushion.
Oh yeah, they're on separate There's like a have and have nots over here.
Yeah, I feel like on the other side was like set, and Lewis, who's a producer, was like on set because he's there to like, be the producer, and Pierre and Charles like hung around until like Brad was out of costume to like snag a selfie.
the losers outside an event with their phones.
Yes. Yeah.
And their little memorabilia to sign.
Right. Yeah, I loved Fight Club. You know Pierre Gasly loves Fight Club so much.
How old is he?
He's old enough
for Fight Club.
Yeah, but
old enough to not like seen Fight
Club.
Yeah, he loves Fight Club.
But Fight Club, it's like you didn't have to be the age where like it was cool. You know what I mean? Like Fight Club, we were too young to like have really been the right age to have seen Fight Club. But Fight Club is just like one of those movies that Pierre like watches that shit and he's like, I'm kind of like Tyler Durden, like.
Yeah,
Tyler Durden. Like
I want to fight. I want to fight and treat what's her face like shit, but like take her down real good.
Right.
What's her name?
Helen Bonham Carter.
Helen Bonham Carter.
Yeah, like Brad Pitt in Fight Club is like what Pierre every day he wakes up trying to be Brad Pitt in Fight Club. I mean, that's his vibe.
That is true. That is
like,
so true.
Like Tyler Durden, like huge dick, hot abs. Blonde, kind of spiky hair, didn't give a fuck, and was just like about fucking and being cool and fighting. Yeah, like that's Pierre's whole shtick.
Yeah.
So it would not shock me that if Pierre was like, hey, like, Charles, like we have to get a picture with Brad. Like we have to will you come with me? Will you come with me, please? Like we gotta get a picture with Brad.
Like I can't show up alone. That would make me a loser. And Charles was
right.
Fine. God damn it, Pierre. Yeah, Pierre is that friend that is like, why did I let him talk me into this? He's definitely the Morty. He's definitely the Rick to Charles's Morty.
Yep.
Pierre has gotten Charles in trouble, I feel.
Right.
Wow, yeah, Pierre had a fucking terrible race. He just can't seem to, whenever Ocon is bleeding, he just can't seem to stick the knife in. Like, he outqualified Ocon. Ocon had engine failure. He, you know what's so funny is I watched the onboards of him and Carlos Sainz.
Mm-hmm.
So Carlos Sainz was like defending heavy. And he was like, Carlos, he pushed me wide. He can't do that. They cannot do that. And then Stroll just fucking murders him.
Yeah.
Just fucking murders him. And I'm like, okay, he really lost it with Sainz, right? With Stroll, he's going to fucking lose his mind. Stroll hit him and he just goes, Stroll, I'm out. Like, he just was so chill about that. Which I just found, like, I feel like when Carlos does it, I feel like maybe it's that Carlos should know better. But Stroll, like, you can get mad at Stroll. I mean, the guy is a terrorist. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Right. Wait, Jenny just sent this.
Yeah.
Jenny
he tapped. So Carlos was giving an interview in Spanish.
Yeah.
And Pierre like pokes him hard.
Yeah.
And goes, "Don't push me like that." And Carlos was like this and went, "Pobrecito." Which means
what is
poor thing, like poor little thing.
Wow.
Yeah, he just went pobrecito. Well, first he like was like, "Whoa," that was like, but then he like covered it and he just went pobrecito.
Wow.
Like, he just was like, oh, poor baby, and that was smooth. That's
slick. Amazing.
Yeah, but Pierre was pretty aggro in that one moment.
Oh, this just in. Apparently, Cara Delevingne is saying that she was told to say no, so she did. Thank you for seeing both sides. To someone
who, okay, no matter how you slice it, it's dumb. Who told her to say no to Martin Brundle?
It's like that. Don't.
Have we not seen enough of these things?
For all celebrities, just talk to Martin Brundle. This is the guy. We already covered it. We're it's dead. We're dead territory, but we've already done it. Okay. Should we get into our awards?
Right.
Hottest moment of the day.
Hottest moment of the day. Ooh. Just everybody just triple teaming Carlos Sainz. Just Carlos Sainz getting triple pennied on international television.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
It was a train being run on him.
Yeah, he was getting bukakied on ESPN F1.
He was like,
TV.
there's one. Oh, there's two. I was like, oh my God.
Oh, there's 3, 4. Oh, wow. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think to me, hottest moment. It's a two-parter. It's the McLaren start, and it's Lando's start and Lando's finish. He started. He got me bricked up, and he finished, and I fucking finished, and I finished, and hey, he's our winner. Because as we all know, Lando, it's congratulations on his first victory in Formula One.
That's right. He did win the race.
He did win the race.
I forgot about this.
Yeah.
His first GP win.
Yeah, because Max Verstappen doesn't count anymore. Okay. Daddy of the day.
Daddy of the day. Let me see here. Obviously, Zak Brown.
Yeah.
Zak Brown high-fiving everybody, just being like, "Pia!"
Yeah.
Every time he's happy, I just imagine that that guy was like, "Pia!" That Republican dude who just
Yeah.
The one that Chappelle Show spoofed like a million years ago.
No, I thought it was. I think that guy was actually a Democrat.
He was a Democrat?
Yeah, it was. Oh God, who was that? He's like, we're gonna go to Delaware, and we're gonna go to Idaho, and then he goes, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's who I imagine whenever Zach's happy.
You know that after Zak Brown hugs you, that like you're
Zach
like
Braff. That's a Freudian slip from Florence Pugh.
Sorry, Florence Pugh. No, you know that every time Zak Brown hugs you, like afterwards, you're like your whole your body stings. You know?
Yeah. So you don't think he has a firm handshake? You think he's a firm hug?
He has a firm hug, which from the front he's got a little bit of the cushion. But you know he
that's
slaps
good, though.
your back. I know, but you know he
I'd rather
he slaps your back.
Yeah.
Remember 5 Stars when we were kids?
Yeah.
5 Stars was just a game where you smacked someone's back so hard that your handprint was on them and it has 5 fingers and it looked like a star, 5 stars.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying playing rugby, you'd almost rather tackle like kind of a doughier guy than a bony guy. A bony guy
of course,
would fucking hurt you.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with the front. It's the fact that he like fucking it's like his death claws. Yeah, he's got these 2 very breakable young boys on his team, and every time he like hugs them and kind of shakes them, I'm like, oh, be careful. Do
you think that Lando grew out his beard so he could be the elder statesman? Because instead of like 2 twinks, he's I really think because now it's the 2 of them. Lando's like, shit, this new twink's coming in. Fuck, I gotta grow this little evil Fu Manchu. It's so weird.
It's just he's at the end of the day he's just a young it's just like he's young, and young people, I mean, look at me right now, honestly, but he's like young people try out their facial hair and it doesn't look good a lot of the time.
But do you think if like a Mark Webber type was on his team, he'd be doing this?
No, he would just embrace. He would be like, I'm the hairless wonder.
Yes.
He's differentiating himself. I agree.
Yeah.
He's definitely differentiating himself.
And they asked Danny Ricciardo who the best hugger was on the grid, and he said Dak Shepard asked this on his podcast. He said he said Christian. So Christian's a great hugger.
Yeah. No, Christian hugs in a way where you feel it's strong, but you don't feel like in pain afterwards. Yeah. Zak Brown hugs and you feel like you're going to be in pain. Like you're going to have a bruise on your shoulder.
He's a back slapper, yeah.
Yeah, he's a back slapper. My daddy of the day. My daddy of the day. My daddy of the day is George Russell, kind of with that talking about the hards, getting them up to temperature, how quickly they got them up to temperature. George and Lewis both giving like oodles of praise to McLaren after the race and during the
right,
race.
It's their way of like doming the situation by explaining it.
Yeah. Right.
It's like, you see how you beat me was. It's mansplaining.
Right. Yeah.
I'm explaining how you beat me, son.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. It's like when the first time you beat your dad in basketball, and he's like,
see, you worked on your fundamentals that I taught you, and you showed you had good footwork, and you worked on the shot that I taught you from since you were shitting your pants.
Right. Right. He's like, so really, I won. In a way, I won. I won. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a thing that dads definitely do. Okay, so Karen of the day.
Oh, okay. This is going to be a new. This is consistent. Okay, great.
There's always a Karen, honestly.
That's true. Karen of the day. My Karen of the day goes to I think, was it Pierre Gasly who got passed on the outside by Stroll, and then they said that like that wasn't actually an issue.
Oh, because he went off the track.
He passed him off the track. Yeah, Pierre.
I was thinking about that, but then Stroll literally like merged. Like he was like a crazy person on a highway.
Yeah.
Like that was insane when he just was off the track, came on the track, and just T-boned fucking Gasly. That was fucking crazy.
Yeah. And then Gasly's car was just totally fucked. Yeah.
It cut to Otmar, and Otmar was just like, "Fuck." Oh, when Piastri was giving, you see that picture where Piastri was giving an interview about like the McLaren rise. No. Alonso's behind them, just smiling. I was like, how do you manage to center yourself in this narrative always? Like, he still manages to win.
Right. Yeah, even when like the team like Aston Martin's not looking so hot right now. We should talk maybe a little bit about that, but like Aston Martin maybe is like they had their moment this year, and I don't know if they're going to get back to the place they were at the beginning of the season.
But hey, at least he's not at Alpine.
Yes.
It could be worse. He could be fucking at Alpine with a 1-year deal.
That's right.
Yeah, Alonso said he'd be on every podium. Alonso says a lot of things.
He was getting high on his own supply. He was feeling really good.
Here's the thing. 2 weeks. Okay, so this week we're saying is McLaren the best team? Last week we were like, is Mercedes the best team?
Right. Obviously, besides Red Bull.
So there's a lot of ebbs and flows. What did Alonso get? P6, P7?
I think he got 7.
I think,
and he got lucky.
There's a limit. Maybe there's a limit to. Okay, just settle down. I know Lando had a good week, but
no. Well, he stayed out and he got the safety car pit.
Right.
He didn't get lucky. He was a smart strategy.
So did Lando. Lando got lucky as well.
Yep.
But who got unlucky? Russell got unlucky.
Piastri got unlucky.
Piastri got unlucky. The Ferraris pitted 90 years before they needed to.
Yeah.
So, I mean, could Ferrari have done any better? I guess is my question.
They could have done a little bit better, but they definitely could have done better. I don't think that they were going to be on the podium because they didn't have the pace. But 9th and 10th is not like they didn't get the most out of the fucking day.
Yeah.
Who's your Karen of the day?
Who's my Karen of the day? Jenny wrote this one. George asking customer service to check for rain again. I mean, George, George is like, George asked them to run the rain credit card.
Yeah.
And they're like, declined. And he was like, that's absurd. Run it again.
Yeah.
I have something on my helmet. I mean, he just can't drive a regular race. He can't do it.
They call gimmicks. They call into him and they're like, so that looks like the radar's saying no rain there, George, no rain. And then what he said, he was like, well, I wouldn't be so sure about that, guys. Because I'm feeling some rain on my helmet. He said it in this way that was like, that the subtext of what they were saying was, George, you're not going to do that well today. It's like, George interprets.
You're going to have to get by on talent alone here.
Yes,
so.
And he did not like that.
He likes
that was
throwing
amazing.
Little Hail Mary. Yeah, that was awesome.
Red flag. What? Yeah.
Did you see that George came in wearing Total Wolf shirt, like a shirt of Total Wolf?
No, I did not.
He had like a polo with like just Total Wolf's face on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was so weird. And then, if you didn't see it, you didn't see it.
Well, did you see the shirt that they got Crofty that says "To Sex Ted"? And it's just like
each other.
They hate each other.
It's so real.
It's so amazing.
That is a hostile work environment. It's kind of like really. It feels really shitty. You're like this journalist. You've done all this research. You're reporting, and you're expounding extemporaneously about some thought you had on this race that's happening in front of you at 200 miles an hour, and you're giving this thought about something, and then they go "To Sex Ted" because Max Verstappen is saying it's windy.
Yeah,
like you're being interrupted because one of the drivers is saying some stupid, unimportant thing that doesn't matter. Like these guys are never interrupted for anything important.
But I feel like
the radios are almost always useless.
I feel like Ted is always giving us information that we already kind of know. I don't feel like Ted is ever kind of like. I feel like every time Ted chimes in, it's like it's just about like the chaos of being in the pit lane.
2 secs, Brian.
Yeah.
My water is empty, actually. My water is empty.
Yeah, bathroom break.
Yeah. No, that was just a bit I was doing. I wasn't actually.
Oh, I see.
I was interrupting you.
I just feel like Ted's never given us anything that important. I just don't feel like he's ever giving us anything that important. He often gets the compound of the tire that they're putting on wrong, and I'm like, you're the guy. You're the pit lane guy.
You're supposed to be able to see the color of the compound.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Guys,
red flag.
It sucks. Yeah. It sucks. It's the worst thing I've ever seen.
It's crazy. I watched it today.
You think the grid walk is bumbling madness? This is the grid walk on fucking steroids.
It's crazy.
Except nobody respects Ted Kravitz, and he doesn't have the quick zingers that Brundle has.
Today during Ted's notebook, he was talking about he was looking at the little board with that they'll stick out and tell you your lap time. Back in the day, this is how they always had to communicate. They still do it sometimes, but it's also when they take pictures, they put like max P1 or whatever. And he was looking at the Red Bull board, and he was like, oh, this is a board that I don't even think they actually use this in the race. I think it's purely for photographs after the race. I wonder how much this costs. Well, it must have come out of the catering budget. And I was just like, Bubby, like, let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go. Your British bias is showing. It's everywhere.
It's crazy.
Red flag.
Who do you think thinks about Abu Dhabi more?
I've been trying to get the red flag of the day for 20 minutes. Yeah. Who thinks? Yeah.
Who do you think thinks about Abu Dhabi more? Lewis Hamilton or Ted Kravitz?
Ted Kravitz, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, I really think Lewis is over it at this point.
I think he's over it too. Okay, red flag of the day. Yes, I got it out. Oh, I've got one. And it's not even really a real red flag. I just think it was hilarious, and I want to talk about it. Helmut Marko about to get into a full fight with a photographer after the race.
What the fuck was that?
Well, Matt, we've experienced this before. These photographers at these GPs can be like,
that is true,
fucking aggressive. When we were at the Indy 500, like, these guys throw elbows, like Dennis Rodman style. Like, get the rebound, throw an elbow, get the position, and box out is like what these photographers.
I totally forgot that's they feel so entitled to the space.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like they asked for our credentials. We were dressed like buffoons, but sorry that we got here an hour early and you didn't, and we had a good spot, Yeah, we got a good spot. By the way, you could be polite. You can ask. You could say, hey, it's really important that but no, they just fucking elbow us.
Right.
I remember one guy
Yeah.
elbowed us out of the way, and he just took out his cell phone. I was like, wait, what the fuck is this? You don't even have a real...
Oh, and then I yelled at him, if you remember.
I was like,
I
wait.
yelled at him, and then he apologized to me later. And
Yeah.
he was like, I just had a lot. Yeah.
Something about the vest and the gear makes them cunts. They're real cunts.
Yeah. So I guess maybe my red flags are the photographers.
Yeah,
Shout
we're
out
the
to-
rare people that are going to actually side with Helmut Marko on this one.
Yeah, shout out
No,
to
it's weird. It's weird.
Jamie
It's weird.
Price.
It's weird that it's weird because, you know, I'm sure Helmut Marko got a lot of stick for that online. For how do you push the photographer? But they're like paparazzi. They're fucking annoying.
Yeah.
They I mean, I know it's their job, but here's the thing. Can I just say something?
Yeah.
If these guys, they got 1,000 photographers to take pictures of these cars.
Yeah.
That go around the track.
Mm-hmm.
How many of them do you actually need? If I see one picture of a Ferrari going around the track, I've seen every fucking picture of every Ferrari going around the track. I'm sure ChatGPT could give me that by now.
Yeah.
They all look the same. Anyway, I don't get it. I really don't get the race photography of it all. I really don't. Sorry. Anyway, speaking of, Jenny's reminding us that Helmut Marko, it's in the air that Nick DeVries is being replaced by the summer break.
Yeah, Nick DeVries is out. Nick DeVries
But
is
who's
gone.
gonna be in? I mean, we know this.
Danny,
this is news. This is news that's not news, right?
It's Danny Rick, right? Or is it Liam Lawson? Yeah. The people want Danny Rick. You just got to give him Danny Rick. Just give him Danny Rick.
Mm-hmm.
Let him scratch the itch. It'll be nice. It'll be good. And Yuki will beat him. Apparently, but Christian said that apparently Danny is looking very competitive on the sim. That he was kind of a mess when he came in, and he blamed Zak Brown for like, what happened?
course.
What'd you do to? It's like, what'd you do to Daniel?
him.
He said,
Yeah.
you broke him. He's like, yeah, it was too hot. Get out the kitchen. Look at me now. How do you like me now?
So yeah, I mean, I think was it Marko or was it Christian? It was like, we'll see how these tire tests go, right? But
Yeah, I
that
think it's
honestly
Marko.
might be about Checo. That might be vis-a-vis Checo. Like, if Danny kills these tire tests, that might tell us something,
Right.
about there might be a double kill coming.
That would be insane.
I mean, here's the thing: why would you get rid of? I mean, you don't even need a second driver at this point. He can win the
You don't.
constructors all by his fucking self.
Apparently, he doesn't
Why-
need to win
what-
another. He doesn't need to win another race this year in order. He could get second in the rest of the races and still win the constructors.
Yeah, this is why I'm wondering.
I mean, yeah.
why even bother paying? Because you'd have to pay Checo out. Just have him finish. Like, why waste money?
Right.
bringing in a new guy, because maybe they want to get another guy up to speed. I don't know, but why? I don't. That's literally why Checo should keep his seat, is because you don't actually need a better driver. You don't need any driver.
Yeah.
Maybe
you don't need anyone else.
just have a one car.
I doubt they're
great
going to
team.
replace Checo mid-season, but I do think that he's out next year. Definitely.
But he's got a 2-year deal. You think they'll pay him out?
Oh, maybe. Honestly, I could see it. They've got money. Money's not really an object to them. Who cares? My red flag of the day. I'm going to give it to. I am going to give my red flag to fucking Lance Stroll crashing into gas. Just being a menace. A menace to society.
Yeah.
Fuck, marry, kill, the real podium, which obviously does not include Max Verstappen because he isn't in Formula One, because that's how you have a good time watching these races. Lando Norris, Lewis Hamilton, and Oscar Piastri. First time Oscar Piastri's on our podium.
This is a tough one.
Yeah.
I'm killing Oscar because he's already dead. He's a ghost. That guy is the palest. The guy is undead. I am fucking Lando and marrying Lewis. Done.
Interesting. I am fucking Lewis marrying Lando. Yeah, killing Oscar. I've seen Oscar. The way that he interacts with his girlfriend, I'm like, damn, this is a tough guy to date. Not a lot of affection there.
It's like Napoleon Dynamite vibes. Like, what's going on?
Like after the race, there's this clip of him. He goes and he hugs her, and then is like immediately like going to all the other people. Like I think maybe like a manager, like a friend of his. He just like didn't take any like. He gave her the same amount of time that he gave like a buddy of his, a guy at McLaren, like a whole like list of people all got like kind of the same 3 seconds.
Before we go, there's another important piece of news that we have to cover, Brian. Maybe more important than anything else.
Yeah, I'm sorry we didn't leave this.
Shakira was back.
Yeah. It's a fish, dude. They're basically married.
Not only was she there, but she was not watching the race. She was like talking, chatting. She wasn't really locked into what was happening, which leads me to believe that like she was there for that hang after. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She wasn't like she's not there for the spectacle of the motorsport. She's there for the spectacle of Lewis Hamilton afterwards and before.
Yeah, she's there for the spectacle of Lewis's dick, dude. Yes.
And whatever whatever rings, whatever accoutrement might be pierced to it, as we learned about
That's right.
Remember he said like he's got piercings he can't take off.
Yep.
That might have been a troll thing, honestly.
Yeah. Definitely a troll thing, but my feelings don't care about your facts. Lewis has a pierced cock.
Yeah, Lewis has got a lot of hardware. Not all of them are sitting on his shelf right now in the trophy room. So
that's absolutely right. Yeah, baby. Shakira's back again, and she's definitely dating Lewis Hamilton. If there are any doubters at this point, we were early. We were early on the rumor.
You were so early on it. You were like, I could tell the way she's like. Brian mastered body language. The way she's laughing at his jokes. Two pictures.
Yes.
It's over.
I'm a body language king. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got an off week next week.
I'm feeling self-conscious at this.
About what?
About how short this episode was. Everyone else is like, it's okay. It can be over. I'm like, did you see Logan Sargent went airborne? Did you see he went airborne in Q1? I was like, how the fuck are all 4 of your wheels off the fucking track right now? This is nuts.
Because he's a goddamn American, dude.
Yeah. These colors don't run.
Baby.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good race. Lots of battles. I liked it.
Well, this battle for like the second best team in Formula One is a fucking great one. And now that I don't care, now that I'm like now that I put it in my head that Max is going to win every race, I really enjoy the races.
Yeah.
I'm having a great time. And the races have been great because that race for that podium is a great race.
Yeah, if you could just
the real podium, second, third, fourth.
Once you psychologically do that, it's amazing. It's the best gift you can give yourself.
Yeah, just dissociate from the Max Verstappen of it all. Damn,
we got to just do that to other things in our lives, like just add a 0 to your bank statement. Just add a 0.
Yeah, totally.
It's just you got to just be able to do that to more important things.
No, dude, this
take
podcast
that frown your girlfriend gives you and turn it upside down. Like, actually, she's smiling at me.
That's right.
Manifesting to Lulu.
The Lulu, baby.
So we're learning life lessons here
We are, yeah. How to
Formula
curate
One.
your own experience. You can make it work for you. You can make this life and this world work for you. Hungarian Grand Prix is the next GP. Not this upcoming week, but the following. What are your thoughts?
That is a lit track. That's a fucking great track. That will be an amazing race. I'm hoping, Aston can get a little tighten it up. Merc can tighten it up. I'm hoping for a four-way bloodbath. Ferrari and Mercedes and Aston. Mercedes
right
will
now
be
it feels like it's.
I think.
Yeah. No, it feels like it's between McLaren and Mercedes. Yeah.
That's where it feels like, which honestly is okay. But it would be nice if Ferrari, could get their shit together. And I don't know what happened to Aston.
I mean, maybe they have more upgrades coming. I think
they brought upgrades already, honestly. I think they already brought upgrades. I think maybe when you copy on somebody else's test, there's a fucking limit to it, to what you can understand and what you can do.
Right, you can't get an A+ when you copy off someone else's test. You're gonna have
Whereas
to,
if you're like a McLaren, where you actually, this concept that they came up with themselves on their own in the fucking wind tunnel over the winter. This is something that they have conceived and come up. They can show their work on this thing. I'm wondering, maybe it'll be another track temperature thing. If it's a cool track, they'll do well.
I think it should be. I feel like it's actually typically weather is also can be a thing there. I don't know if it's going to be crazy hot.
But I'll be in London if anybody has any suggestions of what I should be fucking doing.
Well, we should maybe you should do a little meet and greet maybe with some Vankas. If you're British Vankas, let us know, and maybe we'll do a meet and greet. There's a possibility that I might be in London at some point. Yeah, Matt will come to your house. That's all. If you're a daddy who lives in London, Matt will come to your house.
I will literally come to your house and suck your dick if you're a daddy. So.
Oh, we've got new merch. Yuki Tsunoda just dropped. Also, a Max Verstappen shirt. The shirts are fucking sick. Shout out to Alex, our designer. Otherwise known as Formula Goth. And go cop some merch at theredflagspod.com. Link will be in the bio. Also, join the Patreon. Link will also be in the bio. We're doing a Lewis Hamilton deep dive that's going to be coming out next week. So, fucking get ready for all that. I'm loving Lando Norris, baby. He's my fucking guy. And he has that dog in him. Goodbye, Vankers.
Goodbye, Vankers.